Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I'm your host, GameChanger. Okay, so I'm going to give people time to come up. In the meantime, I'm going to play a short video that's related. At least I feel that it's related. It is actually, it's actually because right before the show, I went through short videos looking for something, and this one came up perfectly. Okay. It's something that I covered in the past, and that's this couple, how they met, love, marriage, baby carriage. I actually misunderstood it because I don't subscribe to them and I don't know them or anything. I thought that they were childhood friends, but apparently they are from different continents. They live on different continents and they met online. But nevertheless, it still tells an interesting story about interracial relationships that we are going to cover today. So go ahead and hit that like button and fair use on this. All right. Actually, I'm going to turn off the music. It says after online dating for 6 months. Now, I'm going to stop right there, even though I haven't played it yet. What we have is a Western man and a Southern woman. And I hate to say it, online dating is really like a last resort for a lot of people. And that's because it's largely garbage on both sides. It's largely garbage for men. First of all, there are fewer women than men. And the women who are on there are really just looking for attention and something to do. And they're really not looking to meet. And on the woman's side, you have the men who are in such a scarcity mindset that, the moment you show them a bit of attention, you just get swarmed by everything that they have to offer. So it's bad on both sides, but it worked out for them. And I'm going to explain why. Hit the like button. Fair use. Okay, so after online dating for 6 months, he flew to Kenya to meet me for the first time. So he's not from Kenya. He flew there to meet up with somebody, which means that he went 6 months directly without any contact with a woman on the continent that he's on. And this isn't me saying that people who online date are incels or something like that. This is really more me pointing out that when a person is fed up from Western women, and I'm assuming that this guy's from the West, when a person is fed up from Western women, they are willing to do what it takes to get away from them. So he flew to Kenya to meet her for the first time and got engaged. Spent 2 weeks together, one of the best 2 weeks of their lives, and he flew back to Germany. Then in 2020, anytime travel, let's see. So he's going back and forth. Think about how bad the women are where he's from, that he has to go to Kenya back and forth and go through all this, within 6 month intervals just to find a decent woman. I mean, this is why passport bros and people like this exist. It is very difficult. Okay, long distance wasn't easy. Yeah, I bet. Okay, 2021, they got married. And keep in mind that this guy, 6 months talking, and 2 weeks dating, he was all in. Look, you got the hand on the booty. Booty? Booty? Okay, so then they got married, got pregnant immediately after. Applied for visa. So they're going through all this stuff. This is how complicated modern dating is. Hit the like button. And in 2022, they had their son together. Made beautiful memories, and I think she's pregnant again. So yeah. Oh yeah, expecting a second child next year. Okay, so that is what the dating market is. And, typically in stuff like this, I like to avoid the fact that it's an interracial relationship, because that's really not the point. The point is that dating is tough even for white guys in Europe or just in the West in general. Everybody is looking for alternatives to Western women. And he found it in Kenya. I hope it lasts, and I hope it's a happily ever after, because it does seem like it's something that they both want. So no problems with this relationship whatsoever. I am happy for them. Now, this is an African girl. I want to cover, hold on one moment. I want to cover something that I seen earlier. Now the intro is over, 5 minutes in. Now the intro is over, and we're getting into the actual show. So before I get too much into it, let me greet some people. I see bright and early. I see Kevin Murray, salute. Chantel Simone, appreciate you. Goal Line Extended, appreciate you. Calvin, appreciate you. 1D Forever, salute. And Eric Barbour with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. It says facts GC. Yeah, thanks a lot. All right. So, and Nerd Guy, salute. Now, Aaron Clary is obviously a white guy, right? And he is a red pillar. He's a YouTuber. I've been watching him since before I was a YouTuber myself. He has very good stuff. It's a little political for me, so I don't watch everything he does. And I kind of like filter it out because I like to keep the politics out of it. But woke up this morning and I seen this episode talking about a show Invincible that I like. And I was going to do a pre-record. Hold on, let me spit my gum out. I was going to do a pre-record, but I decided, there's a lot here, and I'm going to do a regular show, and then I'll chop that regular show into pre-records. So he's covered a show that I watch on Amazon Prime called Invincible. And though I agree with a lot of what he says, what he has to say about the Hollywood's portrayal of interracial relationships kind of leads me to believe that he has an interesting view of Black women that I think a lot of white guys have. They're just not blatant about it. And keep in mind, he wasn't blatant here, but he kind of let it slip. He let something slip about how many white guys that aren't racist. He's not, as far as I know, he's not a racist person, but how many white guys who aren't racist view Black women. And I want y'all to hear what I hear. So I'm going to play a little bit to give it some context, as to what he was talking about on the TV show or the cartoon series, whatever you want to call it, Invincible. And then I'm going to tell y'all what I heard. Fair use, and hit that like button.
A mixed race couple, and then there was one mixed race couple. How dare you, whoever created Invincible? You painted a Black man a bad way. There's one where there's a young couple looking at a house. Happens to be the Black guy is the husband, and he's like, no, we're not getting this house, because I don't like this, I don't like that. And he's being kind of curt and rude about it. She said, but honey, I like it. It's like, excuse me, do you make the money? Which I'm thinking, like, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Oh, but he's oppressive and controlling. No, he is the slave who is working, and it's his money. Now, someone else could go, well, I'm just as the economist, that's how I ruled on that one. But my point is that there would be these occasional, and albeit little turds in the and that was the other thing. This was a bigger turd than the other little turds. So Invincible, good-looking dude, he goes out with the fat Black girl. That's his girlfriend. And when they were making out, I'm like, okay, I'm skipping. It did not compute. I'm like, no, it would not happen. And so the bigotry of soft expectations. They were talking because there is a high school teenage drama.
Okay. Okay, so nerd guy caught what I caught. He caught what I caught, and I was like, "Wow, wow!" So, for those of you who don't watch Invincible, I'm going to show you the woman that this guy is talking about. Oh, something happened. Oh, okay, okay, there we go. I'm going to show y'all the woman that he's talking about, so y'all can appreciate what I heard. Because you just said, like, he's a handsome guy. Oh, and by the way, she's on the thumbnail. So, you don't have to really, you don't really have to look at this. But I mean, this will give you more of what I've seen here. Let me share this. Windows. Here we go. This is what a regular white guy, Aaron Clary, called fat. Like, that's when he sees a fat woman. Now, to me, she's not fat. Like, look at this. This is not a fat woman. So she's not fat. And I'm not talking about in the way that black guys tend to have a lower bar for weight. We call it thick. We call it whatever. We call it big bone. We call it plump. We call it whatever, just to give ourselves excuses for dating, mating, and relating with subpar women. No, she does not fit that criteria at all whatsoever. She is not fat. He looked at her. And keep in mind, he's reviewing the whole series. This is a series. We're like in season 2. So there's episodes in, and there's episodes and episodes and episodes of this girl with this figure. And he just looks at her skin and he sees a fat stomach on it. I repeat, he looks at her skin. He looks at the skin right there. And even though he sees her figure, he still sees fat. Now, this one I just included in there because I thought it was interesting. This is a woman who is not on the show, obviously, because she's not a cartoon, but she has the same name as the person. She has, I think it's like Amanda or something like that. But when you type in Invincible girlfriend name, this woman comes up and she's not big either. So I thought that was interesting. So this is the love scene he was talking about, and or the beginning of it. And he's like, "Oh, that's just disgusting." It's like, wow, this is how this. I mean, and this isn't like one of these swastika, Confederate flag type dudes that just sits in, talk about like more white babies and stuff like that. This isn't that guy. This is more closer to a regular white guy. He's a regular white. Look at this. This is another one of his love interests, and this is his actual girlfriend. Look at it. He looked at it and said, "She's fat." I was like, wow. Wow, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He actually, and this isn't me protecting this cartoon chick. This is me highlighting to Black women in particular that many white guys, they don't see past your stereotype. Your stereotype is so prevalent in their psyche that they, even when you're not fat, they still see fat. That's, in the delusion that exists. The delusion that exists is partly their fault for having so many in the group as fat. Keep in mind, this is the woman on the left here is the same character, but in the comic book series. And the woman on the right is the character on the TV series. So he does have a point. They are woken it up because they just took a white woman's role and literally painted a Black chick on it. But he looked at this chick. He looked at this Black chick right here and said, "She is fat." Black women, there are many white men that see you as fat even when you're not, and you wonder why you're going to have particular problems in dating them. And it's it just comes from having an overabundance of a certain thing, and people who don't have to deal with it, because that's the thing. Black men, we kind of have to, in one aspect or another, we kind of have to deal with black women, whether it's in your family or it's in the community that you was raised in. We had to have spent a particularly significant portion of our lives dealing with black women, and in doing so, we have to pick out characteristics within the group of women. So we can't really just group them all together the way that a white guy can, who probably sees like one black woman a month. Because he's not like a white guy that grew up in Compton or some crap like that. He lives in a rural area and, you know, mountains and crap like that. So it's not, you know, it's not even, he rarely sees them, and he could ignore them his entire life and, you know, just continue on with his life, which is what it seems like he's doing. Because when he sees them, you know, no matter what they look like, they could be Kelly Stamps. He's like, oh, she's fat. She's fat. He's just seen like a cartoon, a waistline drawn by a cartoon anime person and called it fat. It reminds me of when I was in high school, right? And I was coming out of the dentist's office, and there was an older black woman. And by older, I mean really elderly. Like, I doubt that she's still amongst us now, right? This was in the 90s. And, you know, I did what I was trained to do, Boy Scouts and proper upbringing. I held the door open, you know, called her ma'am and everything. And then she looked at me, you know, a young Negro, teenager. Now, at this time, the whole sagging epidemic was in its infancy, but it did become very popular. Like, in a short period of time, it did become very popular. At that time, it wasn't as extreme as it is now. Like, now I see young dudes with the pants underneath their butt, you know, and that's just, anyway. But that style just started to get its foothold, and you started to see it more and more places. Me, as a young nerd, I didn't partake. You will never find an old picture of me or anything like that sagging. That's just not something that I do, have done, and likely ever will do. That's just not how I get down. So, but there were a lot of young men, or at that time, young men my age that did. And she looked at me, and even though I was being nice and polite to her, she was like, you know, why don't you pull your pants up? And then I looked, I was like, you mean upper more than what it is? Because I have a belt on, and my belt is like tightened, and my pants, my underwear is not showing at all. Do you see something that I don't see? And then, you know, but I didn't say this because, you know, respect your elders. But I was like, this woman really is under the delusion that because I'm young and black, that I'm sagging, even though you can see my pants. You actually can see my pants. But because this image of the sagging young black men is just burning in your brain. It's burning in your brain. Because that image is burning in your brain, you are seeing it when it doesn't exist. And because the fat black woman image is burning in white guys' brain, it's burning in their brains. Black women, y'all have burned the image, this unattractive, stereotypical image into the white psyche, that they see fat even when it don't exist. Now, what do I mean about this burning? It's burning. This burning image. Hit the like button, people. This burning image that y'all put into the white guy's psyche. I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean. This is the first time I really was like, wow, black women don't have a problem with this. And y'all should have. Y'all definitely should have had a problem with this. Let me see. I didn't. Let me see if I can cue it up right quick. Ah, crap. All right. Uh, nope. Dang. I could have swore I had it. I could have swore I had it up and ready because really want to show y'all this. I have another clip up and ready, but let me see if I have this one up and ready from online dating, and that's my intro clip. Okay, so here I'm gonna just go back into my history right quick and bring that up for you. In the meantime, hit that like button, and if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And Aaron, Clary, if you're watching this on the replay, because I know you're live now, yeah, it is what it is. I understand. I'm not making any accusations. Sort of, I actually get it. So because you see more Black women on TV than you do in real life, and in real life there is a abnormally high concentration of fat women in our community, to where you would get that perception, to where you see it so often that this is just what you see, even when it's not there. You know, just like the woman with the sagging. I don't fault either of you. It just is what it is. But it really just shows, like, when Black women are talking about swirling and, crossing over, this is part of the barrier. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's always going to be that guy in Germany who's going to date you online for 6 months and stuff like that. He's not. He's on a whole different thing. But generally speaking, like at the coffee shops, like the regular interaction that you will see with with them is going to be more to this effect. And here's what I'm talking about: the image. And this has already taken hold, by the way. Like, this isn't. Hold on. This isn't like a new phenomenon. Like they just started feeling this way yesterday. This isn't a new phenomenon. This has been going on since way before I was born. I'm talking about syrup woman days, like Aunt Jemima days, like Mammy Day. When they see the regular Black woman, they do see the mammy. And this is, and I covered this before, but I'm going to do it again because it's worth it. Okay, so. All right, and fair use. I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to play the stills, right? So this is a scene from the movie Good Luck Chuck, right? Now, Good Luck Chuck is about a guy who is cursed by having beautiful women sleep with him, and when they do, the next guy that they get with marries them. So he has a bunch of women just lined up to get at him, or to hook up with him, so they can marry who they really want to marry the next day. Now, this is not. Oh, and by the way, all the women that are lined up, because the movie is yeah, he got the magic stick. Yeah, exactly. The movie is really just about him, and eventually he hooks up with Jessica Alba. Is 20 years old, and then in the midst of the movie, as a way to show his character, they have this scene here, and this is his secretary. This is his the guy's a dentist. This is his dental assistant. So she's in his house. She breaks into his house, and she used the company key that she gave him, or the key just for emergencies. She's in there with a trench coat. She's sitting down. He's like confused, like, what's going on here? And she's an overweight woman. And she has the look of thirst in her eyes. And he's like, oh, God, this is actually happening. This is an actual thing. And she's trying to explain to him, like, no, I understand that, that if I sleep with you, then the next guy I get with will marry me because you got that magic stick. So give me some of that magic. This is not inappropriate, because I work for you or anything like that, And then he's still confused, like, oh God, keep in mind, he didn't mind sleeping with all the slim-waisted white women, but the only black woman in the movie, a movie full of this guy sleeping with women, is this one. Because this is how they see the regular black woman. This is how regular white guys look at black women. They made this. I didn't make this movie. And I doubt that a black man made this movie. This is how they see. They don't see them as sexual figures, just like Aaron Clary. And then she tried to like, oh, you don't see me as a, well, how about now? How about this? Come and get some of, this is how they see you. This is how they see you, as this, as desperate, as overweight, as just generally unappealing, and completely unaware. And in addition to everything else, completely unaware. This chick, do she not realize that in addition to being a doctor, he also has a magic stick, meaning that, he gets the pick because he's offering these women their life's dream. And she thought that with this lingerie, and she said that, my underwear is edible. That he would be like, oh, swing. This is how they see. They wrote this. Why did they wrote this role for her? This is the only one. Throughout the montage of women that he was running through, not one black one. Not one black one, but this one he gets. And then she begs some more. So she's begging, and he's just standing there like, oh no, I can't do this. And you look at him, he's actually cringing at her figure, like, oh, I can't do this. This is just wrong on so many different levels, and she's continuing to beg, and then she decides to tackle the guy. So when all else failed, she SA'd him. And shout out to the homies. I'm not talking about SA. I'm talking about she SA'd him. The letter S followed by the letter A. So she is his employee, and she decided to tackle him in his home on his table. This is how they see you. As unattractive, and the only way you can get a regular rank and file white guy is to SA him. So she tackles him, pins him down, demands some of that D, rips his shirt off, demands some of that D. Give me some of that D. Like Leslie Jones, give me some of that D. And then she pins him, she's looking at him. And, she's begging some more, like, and then he finally says, okay. By the way, I didn't show this, but the table broke. The table broke. So she goes in his house and breaks his table. And then she's like, listen, I know, that you can have any woman you want, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, you could picture somebody pretty, but please, I just want this. My husband, Bernard, died on me, and I really just need this. And he's like, okay, this, I'll give you some, and I'll say something romantic. And the whole point of this scene is to make him out to be a good guy. They want to make him out to be a good guy, and him giving her penis is charity. He is given a charity. So when they write the ending of the movie and he gives the penis to whom he actually wants to give it to, and which is Jessica Alba. And Jessica Alba is she's in the top 5 of the baddest white chicks that I know of. She is like Jessica Alba, and even now, but less so now, of course, but she is up there. Hit that like button. And by the way, just so y'all know, this is Jessica Alba. So this is who he actually wants to get with, but they want to show that he is a nice and charitable guy. So they showed him giving the overweight black woman some pity penis. Now, is GC making this up? Y'all might be saying, oh no, GC, you making this up. This is not prevalent amongst the thinking and the psyche of the regular white guy. Okay. Since you want us to talk like that, hit the like button. If you want to talk like that, Jessica Alba isn't really white though. Okay, listen, I don't care. I mean, okay, so she's half man. That's a nationality, but I get what y'all saying. I'm saying that I classify her that way. And of that way, she's the hottest. I don't go into people's, 23andMe and all that crap. I don't do all that. It's, it's like, okay, if you look it, you are it. And of the people who look it, she is, she is that. She is the hottest. What's her name? Scarlett Johansson. Who else? Carmen Electra. And maybe it's me. Maybe you need a little bit of spice, Mexican spice, or something, in it, for me to get down with it. And maybe I'm just not into like pure Nordic Aryan type women. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Maybe they need something in them in order to, like, I am more attracted to Southern Europeans than Northern Europeans, like Italian, Spanish, and stuff like that. Than Scandinavian women. It could be that. But nevertheless, that's how I classify her. And of that classification, she is the hottest. Now, that being said, Aaron Clary is not a one-off with this delusion. He's not like alone in this thinking. Let me show y'all what I mean. And keep in mind, this is not new thinking. Like, what I'm about to show you is not new. All right. This was like from 2006, right? Have a listen.
Asian gentleman. I mean, we were vibing, we were clicking. I'm thinking, he's going to ask for my number. White men never ask for my number. And he was like, all right, well, great conversation. Maybe I'll see you around. I was thinking, what happened?
Ask for his.
No.
Y'all hear that, right? White men never ask for my number. Never? Never. They never ask for your number? Never. Wait a minute. How come white guys aren't asking for your number? It's because, like Aaron Clary says, when they see her, they don't look at her. They just look that she's white, and they actually see a fat woman. They actually see the woman from Good Luck Chuck that I just showed. They're nice, they're cordial, et cetera, but they just don't see you like that. And this is the rank and file. This is the rank and file, just regular, everyday white dude. I'm not talking about the ones that you meet online in a wmwbw site or the AMBW sites. Of course, they are going to be different, and you are going to have a lot more luck online, because guys are more eager. The guys online are more eager. In fact, that's where a lot of these swirlers and stuff are going, But just like in general passing, if you were to just pick like a white dude out of a lineup, they are going to be on some Aaron Clary stuff or even deeper, to where they look at this as a bunch of fat chicks. Because so many Black women are fat that they're going to make that correlation. Listen, Black women, if you are not fat, you are like a dark purple jelly bean. Now, what do I mean by, dang it. All right, hold on. Hold on right quick. Okay, there we go. All right, you are a dark purple jelly bean. Now, what is a dark purple jelly bean? A dark purple jelly bean, simply put, means that you look like a black jelly bean. You look like a black jelly bean, and though you might be delicious, people do not like black jelly beans. So they are not going to risk eating a dark purple jelly bean because it might be black. Now, if you are a black man and your whole life has been, trying to pick out the difference between a dark purple jelly bean and a black one, then you have developed a sense of this. And even though that's not perfect, you're used to it. Aaron Clary's not used to this. He just see a dark jelly bean. He's like, I ain't eating that crap. And that's how these dudes think. Listen at this woman.
We were vibing. We were clicking. I'm thinking, he's going to ask for my number. White men never ask for my number.
All right. Now, slow motion for me. Hit the like button.
He's gonna ask for my number. White men never ask for my number.
White men never ask for my number. Let's go back.
Never ask for my number.
Let's go back again.
White men never ask for my number.
Let's go back again.
White men never ask for my number.
And there you have it. This Aaron Clary guy is not a one-off. It's because, and these white guys have no problem asking Asian women for their number. It's not like a race or a minority thing. They don't ask for your number because even though you're not a fat woman, they see a fat woman. They do. They see a fat woman here. I think, hold on, let me see if this is the scene. Hold on.
Relationship, good rapport, and then it's almost like I'm going to keep you around, and hopefully when I'm ready to settle down, you'll be there.
It's not this
That's
scene.
the back pocket girl.
The back pocket girl.
Yeah. Every now and then they'll check in with you.
Chemistry, it's never going to work. I don't care if you have every quality on my list.
I'm not going to talk to you if I'm not attracted to you.
Right.
Are they asking
Okay. I can't find the scene, but this is the same chick that says she only dated guys that are 6'5". And I doubt that white dude she was talking about was 6'5". Okay, so for those of you who are just coming in, hit that like button. What we are talking about is what a gentleman by the name of Aaron Clary had to say about a show called Invincible. I'm going to play it again. All right, so hit that like button.
Everyone's a mixed race couple. And then there was one mixed race couple. How dare you, whoever created Invincible, you painted a black man a bad way. There's one where There's a young couple looking at a house. Happens to be the black guy is the husband. And he's like, no, we're not getting this house, because I don't like this, I don't like that. And he's being kind of curt and rude about it. She said, but honey, I like it. It's like, excuse me, do you make the money? Which I'm thinking, like, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Oh, but he's oppressive and controlling. No.
Okay, so this part is to just give you a taste of the context in which he was talking about. Now let's listen more.
No, he is the slave who is working, and it's his money. Now, someone else could go, well, I'm just as the economist, that's how I ruled on that one. But my point is that there would be these occasional, and I'll be at little turds in the and that was the other thing.
Here it comes.
This was a bigger turd than the other little turds. So Invincible, good looking dude, he goes out with the fat black girl. That's his girlfriend.
Now, for those of you who just tuned in and you've never seen an episode of Invincible, this is the black girl that he just called a fat black girl. This, by the way, she's on the thumbnail, but we're gonna go deeper into it regardless. We're gonna show some more pictures of what he called fat, what he considered to be a stereotypical fat black woman. And once again, this is me coming at Aaron Clary. I get it. I get it. You don't even see them as, but according to him, this is the fat black woman. This right here, oh, that's fat. That's fat. She's just so fat. She's just so fat. I can't watch this. It's fat. Like, look at all that fat. I'm telling you, this is what they see. This is how white guys see the regular black women, which means that they have to try extra hard. And you guys know what I'm talking about when I say this. They have to try extra hard to be seen. Because if this was a real life person, he wouldn't notice her, or he'll notice her as a fat chick and he'll just keep it pushing. This is how the regular rank and file coffee shop white dudes see the regular, not fat black women. And that's why I played in slow motions. White guys never ask for my number. That's why I was playing that over and over and over again in slow motion, because it is the truth, or it is the reason that they don't, And, once again, because guys like Aaron Clinton, this is not a shot. I understand exactly why you feel that way. Trust me, I do. Especially coming from somebody who grew up in Oakland and had my own perceptions of white people because I seen so few of them. And the few that I did see were, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to say trailer trash, but they definitely had problems. They definitely had problems. So I get why his perception is what it is. And why it's so strong that you can look at a woman who's drawn fit and see fat. It's funny, and I get it, and you're a smart dude, but even a smart dude can look at a fit woman and see fat when none exists if the stereotype is so strong, that it's there. Just like that black woman, she's seen, a 15, 16-year-old nerd. And even though my pants was up, she's seen somebody sagging. That's just how it gets down. And how does this translate into the real world? Well, let's take a listen. And by take a listen, let's listen again in slow motion.
White men never ask for my number.
They never ask for your number. So there you have it, people. You know, this is how the regular, everyday, rank and file white guy sees it. Aaron's not a racist, at least as far as I know. You know, that's just how they see you. They see you as fat, obnoxious, and not to be taken too seriously on the dating market. And this isn't me saying that you can't get a white dude, because you can, especially online. You know, online guys are in a very, very, very disfavorable mating market. They get very few replies for the amount of, swipe rights that they do, and they're eager. And that's just the regular dating markets, so they're forced to be more discerning. And that's just all race of men. It's a very favorable market for women online, but it's not really a favorable market for women who are looking for men with an abundance mindset. So it's bad on both sides, but you will find a guy of any race there. If you're a regular, average looking woman, especially if you're not fat. I have no doubt, and I'm not saying that you're not going to find that to all you swirlers and stuff like that. But somebody said the marker adds 5 to 10 pounds. You comedy, you comedy. And just to black women, right? But what I'm saying is that, like, rank and file, you're not going to get the same response that your equally shaped white friend is going to get from white guys. And to be honest, I do think that for a lot of women, that adds to the intrigue of white guys, because they're harder to get, so they value them more. I do think that there is a there with that, because, they get hollered at by 10 black dudes a day, but, they get hollered at by 10 white dudes a decade. Of course, they're going to have a value for what's scarce than what's abundant. But I digress. I digress on that. Now, so the first clip that I showed was like 3 minutes in. 3 minutes and 20 seconds in, if you want to go back and watch this video. It's funny because here at the 16-minute mark, this is what he has to say again.
You still have to see it. It's still jarring. I was playing Hogwarts Legacy, and my part shut. I said, you want to say, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Ever since the 80s, when I'm a vegetarian, shut the fuck up. No, you're not. All right, it's late. Oh my God, 5 super chat. Of course, it's Dre. Of course. Well, it's probably noon over there, Dre.
Okay, so yeah, he didn't do it on that one. He didn't say it there. So maybe I got the timestamp wrong or something, but I'm not going to listen to the whole thing while he goes over super chats. But speaking of which, let me go over my super chats. All right. So Eric says, we call it pH fat. I think he means PHAT, which, that's what we do. But we as black men, we really like to dance around the fat chicks. And that's because we have a population of women who are 80% overweight and like 60% obese. So to avoid limiting your mating pool to 20% of the population, which is unheard of, especially in a poor mating market like the one we live in right now, we try to blur the line so we could get as much of that 80% that we can, and not have a situation where 100% of men are going after the same 20% of women, and there's a 1 in 5 chance that you have a shot. And that's provided that she's even on the market. So we want to avoid that mating scenario. So, we tend to blur the lines of what's fit and what's fat. We tend to well, she's a little thick and a little chubby, but we tend to do that. But that's not what's going on here. That's not what's going on here. Okay. Keep it real. Saltines love them. They love the same thing that we love. But once again, we are saturated. We're saturated with a certain type. And we've just, okay, put it like this. They love slim women the way we love. They love slim women the way people love non-prison food. You ask a free person what kind of food they like, and it'll be not prison food. You ask a prisoner what type of food they like, and it will be prison food, or it will be a particular delicacy that's served in prison. Like every Wednesday they have like a cake or something. Or every Friday they have chicken and cornbread. Like they'll say something like that. They'll say like prison chicken is the best that there is. It's not Popeyes, it's not Church's, it's prison chicken. And that's because they have a limited menu. However, you set them free, and their standards their standards for foods will slowly become the same as everyone else's. Don't believe me? If you have a friend or family member that's unfortunately locked up in a state penitentiary, because I have, and visit them, right? And some of them, what they had me do was he asked me to bring some quarters, like $40 in quarters, for the vending machine, right? And you got to bring it in a clear bag. So I did. And, we talked for a bit. He was like, yeah, let's go to the vending machine, right? And see how happy they are. See how happy they are eating that eating that vending machine food. Eating free people food is such a treat to them. Eating free people, Kit Kat bars or that frozen chicken, that your microwave chicken and stuff. Like eating stuff like that, they are excited. They are ridiculously excited. And that is the way Black men feel about regular sized women. Even these Black dudes that's especially from the South. Even these Black dudes that be from the South, like, oh yeah, I love them thick. I love them thick. I like that thickness. I like that. No. That is because you are trapped in a society that forces you into that. Just like prisoners are trapped in a society that forces them into prison food. But the moment they get around a Kelly Stamps, the moment they get the opportunity with a Jessica Alba type woman or something like that, you will see that they have the same preference that everybody else do. So it's not just saltines that like some sticks. Beavers like sticks. Everybody likes sticks. And when I say stick, listen, we're not talking about like A-cup shapeless women here. We're talking about Jessica Alba, Scarlett Johansson, and stuff like that. We're talking about Angelina Jolie back in her heyday. We're talking about like Jennifer Aniston. These are all C-cup women. These are all like B to C cup, slim-waisted women with the ghostly outline of a six-pack that I like. These are not sticks. These are not stick figures or something like that. I'm trying to think of like who's famous that would be a stick figure. But nevertheless, these are women with meat on their bones. It's just that those meat just so happen to be in the right places. Now, Cameron Diaz, yeah, she is close. She is very much on the stick figure side. I will say that. However, she has a real pretty face. Or at least she had one. But no, and trust me, Cameron Diaz can definitely get it. So let's stop with the whole rumor or stereotype that white dudes like them overly skinny, because they don't. They like the same thing we like. Look, let me show you. They like the same thing we like. They just have better access to it. And that's because they deal in women that deal in men. They deal in women who aren't as much, because they have their own issues. That's why people like Aaron Clary exist. But they have they have the same type of preferences that we do. Take a look at this, black and white. Now, this is what they prefer. These are the women who they're the same shape. The white woman and the black woman, they're the same shape. They tig on the biddies, slim on the waist. Take a look at this V taper that she has. The indentation of the waist right there. This is the same thing we like. Exactly. A lot of brothers take the stance, I like what's available now. And unfortunately, especially it's okay. If you live in the South and you only deal with black women, then it's of course you're going to like that. Of course, because that's really all that's available to you where you live and the demographic that you date in. You're going to convince yourself that this is the best. Just like people in prison, think that, that pudding snack that they get on Thursday is the best thing ever. Oh, pudding snack, that's crap. It's not even Jell-O, it's generic pudding. Generic pudding tastes like the crap that you crap when you eat Jell-O. But they love it, and I had a homie that was locked up. And he was like, listen, all I need is $25 a month. And that covers my noodle costs. And he was just so happy to get that. He was not tripping as long as he got to get his noodles. And he just went into this whole recipe thing that he did with it about how he took pieces of regular food from lunch and dinner, like bread bits and stuff like that, put it in the bag. Oh, they don't just cook it like regular people. No, they put it in a plastic bag, and let it soak for hours with crap that they sprinkle in from lunch. And then once it's soaked in, then I guess they put it in a bowl and eat it. To regular people, that's disgusting. But to prisoners, that is good eating. That's gourmet. So we think that white dudes are just overly, they want olive oil from Popeye. But no, this is what they want, and this is what you want. And this is what Asian guys want. And this is what we all want because we're men. So yeah, let's stop with the whole. I know I went long into that, but let's stop with the whole stick figure comment. It says, have you seen that South African girl with that water song? Nope, I haven't. Is she attractive or what? Nope. I really don't listen to modern music like that. So let's see. I had this argument with my Southern homie. I blame Southern dudes for this fat black is thick epidemic. Yeah, something happened. So, and I missed it this week because it was Thanksgiving. But I had a movie night 2 weeks ago. Those of you who go to movie night know what I'm talking about. I had a movie night 2 weeks ago where I covered the movie MMA, not MMA, Emma, first name, last name, May, M-A-Y, right? And it's a movie about a woman. This is a blaxploitation 60s or 70s movie about a movie who moved from Mississippi. Oh God. Mississippi of all places. To I'm looking up the movie right now. She moved from Mississippi to Compton. And the way that the people in California looked at her used to being looked at. She's not. It's like what? It is because she comes from a different world and different standards and stuff like that, and you could tell that she really didn't see her faults until recently. Okay, here I found the movie. Let me show y'all what I mean. Let me show y'all what I mean. But no, I've come to realize that the South is and I say South with an F. The South is a whole different world, and this isn't me thumping on on people that eat chitlins, but this is just I get it. It's different. So what you see is from the movie, a 1976 movie. So before I was born, and this right here is a California girl. This is a California girl, and this man with the cousin from Mississippi. Now, here's the cousin from Mississippi. This is what was considered fat in the 70s. She was looked at as the fat chick once again, and the only dude that was feeling her was this dude here, and he's like the Pookie of the movie. And he wasn't really feeling her. He was just feeling her availability and the fact that she was all the way down. But so it's always been like a different bar, back in the day. But once again, this was what was considered fat, and this is what is considered regular. So yeah, it's not a black dude thing. It's not a black dude thing. Back in the day, even back when, black dudes preferred this right here. They preferred the Thelma Evans over the Florida Evans in Good Times. They preferred the Winona over the Florida Evans in Good Time. They preferred, what was her name? Helen from Different Strokes, the chick that lived upstairs. Like, they preferred that. It's just that it's not really available to them. So they adjust their preferences to a more realistic thing given their environment. But make no mistake, naturally, we want the same thing that all other men want, period. Wait. What's this? Maybe IG got me tricked, but I do think some of the younger girls, like Generation Z, are getting it at least by Generation Alpha. I don't see as many women trying to be as fat as they were. Yeah. Okay, so that's a number of things. One, they're younger and it's easier. Two, they understand that they have to compete on an interracial market. So they're not going to get this whole George Jefferson, Louise Jefferson. They're not going to corner the market. The sisterhood knows that they're not going to corner the market. And that's another thing about the South. In the South, Black women had the market cornered, just like in prison. What does that mean? It means that if all Black women in not Miami, Florida decides to get together and say, we're all going to be fat and they eventually going to have to take us anyway because they don't have a choice. That would be a true statement. That would be a true statement. And that's because, and this is what I heard from a dude that's in his 40s. And that is, and y'all can back me up if y'all from there, in not Miami, Florida, which is where he's from. He divides Florida into two categories, Miami, Florida, and not Miami, Florida. He's from not Miami, Florida. In not Miami, Florida, where he comes from, he said there was no interracial dating. It's just unheard of. He didn't realize, because he came here like 2015, I want to say. And he was just shocked to see like the interracial couples. So, you know, he comes from a place where they didn't have to compete. Hit the like button. Where Black women didn't have to compete with other women. That's not even true in the more rural areas now. You know, so they understand that they have to compete not only with other races of women, but they also have to compete with for other groups of men. And it's not just, because you mentioned Instagram, it's not just dating that they're competing for. They're not competing for husbands or stuff like that. They're competing for attention. So they understand that, listen, this is what I have to do to get that attention. This is how I'm going to get more Instagram likes. So they understand that, and you know, their habits are a reflection of that. So I think that that's what's going on, but I don't know if it's sustainable because they're very young, and you know, their metabolism hasn't slowed yet, but hopefully that's the case. I don't think Mississippi is ever going to change because they eat dirt, and that's just, I don't know if I could convince, I don't think society can convince a state of people that eat dirt of anything other than, you know, putting pineapples in their dirt. Like, I don't, but I do think that the rank and file are getting it, and it's better. Blacks thinks that our attraction to overweight women is because of poverty. I think it largely is, yeah. But I submit to you how every African Mongol has a fat wife and slim girlfriend. Oh, mogul. All right. I don't know how true that stereotype is. It's about the housewife versus no. Okay, you're completely off on that. And here's why. Fat women do not make better housewives. Fat women do not make better anything. Okay, listen. And I know it's rare that I do 2 live streams a day, but remember, this one was going to be a pre-record. But I am going to do a so stay tuned. Stay tuned. Today I am going to do a live stream on her. On her. Who this woman? Well, tune into the next live stream. Y'all find out. This woman is freaking gorgeous. And I'm not talking about in like an Instagram BBL type way. I'm talking about in every single way. I'm talking about like wife, mother, you know, blah, 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 blah. This is perfection. Okay? That is what this is, you know, and you're going to hear her speak. And this is the woman that you want to raise your kids. This is the woman that you want as a housewife. This is the woman that you want, you know, as a maid. This is the woman that you want in your bed. This is the woman that you want for each and every single feminine aspect of your life. This is it. Why do I say that? Why did I bring that up? Because people are under the impression that fat women are good at something else to make up for the fact that they're fat. No! 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 No. Nope. Nope. No. 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 That is not true. They're just fat. It is possible for a woman to be spectacular at all things woman, like her right here. It is possible for a woman to be spectacular at all things woman. And it is also possible for a woman to be terrible at all things woman. And most fat women are terrible at all things woman. You see, here's the thing. Excuse me. Reading is the basis of non-mathematical education, like math, and I'll just say math. You know, it is possible for a person to be illiterate and be a mathematical genius. It's not really probable, but it is possible. However, in most other things, like you have to be, in fact, and when I say most, I'm talking about like 99% of all other things, you have to be literate in order to achieve any other academic goal. Being so which brings me to the term reading is fundamental. I repeat, reading is fundamental. Because without it, you can't do other stuff. That is in the realm of just general success for people. Now, for a woman, fitness is fundamental. Just like if you can't read, you can't do like a lot of other stuff. If you are not fit, you are not qualified in any aspect of femininity whatsoever. You're not. There is nothing that you can do that a fit woman can't do better. And it's not a matter of willingness. If you had any willingness, you wouldn't be fat. So miss me with this whole, yeah, but they make good wives. They make bad everything. Just like an illiterate person would, you know, if you hire them to as a typist or something like that, you know, it would be bad. They don't make up for it in other ways. They don't. They don't. Just because a person is deficient in one area, that doesn't mean that they are adept in another one. Listen, just because a person isn't athletic, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're smart. And just because a person is smart, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're athletic. Just because a person is handsome, that don't make them dumb. Or a woman is beautiful, that doesn't make her a bimbo. No, the world isn't balanced like that. The world don't just balance things out like that. There are some people, there are some women like her that has it all. And by it all, I mean all of the stuff that I want in a woman and that you want in a woman. Each and every single thing that you want in a woman, she has, and she has a lot of it. And a fat woman don't. She has all the goodies. Big butts, no whammies. And I know that y'all are going to try to seek out a whammy, and I'm covering her later today, so stay tuned. But I know that y'all are going to try to, find a whammy just so y'all can say the universe is balanced. No, the scale is not balanced. How are you going to balance a scale with a fat chick on one end and a slim chick on another end? You can't. Those things don't balance. She's better at being a woman. Now, let me, and just to drive this point home, I'm going to show y'all my actual crush, because that's not even my actual crush, but this is my actual crush that I had for quite some time. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay, so what's her name? All right, here she go. What do you mean? Well, you can't afford that. I can and won't. Listen, so it's the only one worth buying. Listen, I get it. Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Some things you don't substitute. Some things you don't substitute. Like, don't get me wrong. I guess you could eat generic, I don't know, cereal or ketchup. That's a good one. Yeah, you can eat some generic ketchup, save, maybe $1 a bottle or something like that. And you probably don't even taste the difference. You could drink a generic soda and you probably wouldn't even taste the difference. It's like, okay, this Cola Select tastes kind of like Coca-Cola. Some things you can save $1 or $2 on, and get the generic version. Like okay, it's not Pepsi, it's not Coke, but it's $1 less, or it's 50 cents less a 2-liter, and I'm having a party, so we're gonna serve this. Some things you can do that on, but not the person that you spend your entire life with. You don't get the generic, you don't get the discount on that. When it comes to that, you have to save up and get the quality name brand stuff. And that is what Kelly Stamps is. Yeah, people are, oh, no, not Kelly. Yes, Kelly Stamps. Yes, Kelly Stamps. Look at her. See? The mannerisms, the shape, the fitness. Hold on. Her as an example of femininity. So yeah, so she has the features that I like in the face, and then she decides to capitalize on it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The house is clean. So my point is that stop trying to make excuses for these fat chicks and trying to give them virtues that they simply don't have. Okay, they're not George McFly. They are not, oh yeah, George McFly may be a scrawny nerd, but if you get him mad enough, he'll come with that lucky. No. That's not how the real world works. That is not how the real world works. Some women I know her eyes are far apart. I do not care. She don't have Down syndrome. I don't care. In fact, let's talk about this. Why do brothers look for flaw? And this isn't me coming at you, Kane, because I really don't understand the concept, the context. But so many brothers look for flaws in flawless women. And they look for flawlessness in extremely flawed women. Ever notice that? A person could look at Leslie Jones. And speaking of Leslie Jones, you know how when you're roasting somebody, and you say, oh, look at that, look at that Darnell Jones looking bitch or something like that. You know, or you say, look at that Mr. Burns looking nigga. You know, like you say something. And I tried to do that when I was roasting Kelly, not Kelly, but when I was roasting Leslie Jones. And I've come to the conclusion that you cannot say anything or anyone that's worse than Leslie Jones. Like, if I'm insulting another woman, I say, you Leslie Jones looking bitch. But when you're insulting Leslie Jones, there is no worse thing. There isn't a lesser. You're Leslie Jones. You are at the bottom. You can't say you look like somebody that's worse. You are the worst. So I'm going to use Leslie Jones as an example because she's the worst. She is the most flawed female that exists ever. And what do brothers like to do? They take an extraordinarily flawed female and they look for flawlessness in her. Like, yeah, but that booty though. Somebody said Tommy has roasted Leslie Jones. That's your sister. That is that, and I'm not talking about that's your sister, you know, or that's your we black, so we brothers and sisters. No, that is your she shares DNA with you in some way, shape, or form. Y'all are the same classification of ugly. Y'all are in the same gene pool. Y'all have been to a family reunion together. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? Anyway, my point is that brothers generally look for, you know, positive attributes of very flawed women, and then they look for negative attributes of damn near flawless women. Looking at Kelly Stamps, look at how far apart her eyes are. You are, what the hell? Come on now, we need to stop with that. Nobody's perfect, and I can understand highlighting a person's imperfections, but don't pretend like she's not fine as hell. Don't pretend like that's not the case. Miss me with that, you know? And you want to know why you do that? Because this is why I used to do it, right? And this is going to piss y'all off, but it is what it is, and it has to be done. The reason why y'all ninjas do this is because it helps you feel better about not being able to fuck her. It is highly unlikely, and I mean really highly unlikely, that I will ever meet or beat Kelly Stamps. And I have to cope with that. I have to say that, okay, I'm not going to fuck her, but her eyes are so far apart that I really don't want to anyway. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And see, I didn't do that. I did that when I was younger, before the internet was a thing. And I did it in a way to where when I got rejected directly to my face, I would pick out a feature on her to say I didn't want to smash anyway. And sometimes I do that to her. Like, oh, no, thank you. I don't mess with nerds. Like, well, I don't mess with web-footed bitches. Yeah, but you was just trying to fuck. Yeah. Well, shut up. You know, like, I did that before. So I get, you know, I get why it's done. But the truth of the matter is, we're doing it to cope with the fact that this chick won't fuck you and that Leslie Jones will. So, you know, you have to. So the opposite works with Leslie Jones, because with Leslie Jones, you're saying like, you know, okay, Leslie Jones is what I can get. And she has, look at how close together her eyes are, or some crap like that. You know, she has this feature that I won't. No, she just has a vagina at the point that you desperately need a vagina. So you tell yourself her best feature. We need to stop doing that. I'm not saying stop dirt digging. I'm just saying understand that you are dirt digging. You are placing your penis into Mississippi dirt because this is what is available to you at the time you want some booty, 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 booty. Be real with yourself, because here's what happens when you're not real with yourself. And you do this to assess. And this is why I don't do this. Because when the opportunity arises for some Kelly Stampness, and believe it or not, you know, there are surprising circumstances where it does arise. So when the opportunity for some Kelly Stampness arise, you won't be prepared, because you stuck on some eyes far apart type crap. You know, you have psychologically convinced yourself not to embrace the goodness that is everything else but the distance between her don't be that. Always be prepared to embrace proper opportunity. It's like those guys that travel the world. It's like a dude that's a new passport bro. And then, you know, he gets with a chick in a foreign country that's slightly better than the chicks here. You know, they're just like a step above, because they're not adapt to the fact they're not used to the opportunity of embracing the whole package. And I get it, the whole package is rare, but when and if you fellas get that rare opportunity, embrace it. Embrace it. Completely. Because what if you're with a chick? Right? And I'm not saying she's Leslie Jones, and nobody's actually with Leslie Jones. But, you know, let's just say you're with the chick, and she's something that she would rather not be with, but she's available right now. And then Kelly Stamps comes along with the opportunity of a lifetime. You can't put the girl you with on the same level. You have to be prepared to leave. And I hate to say it, but you have to be prepared to leave. And in order to do that, you must recognize how much better she is than the woman that you are with. Pick out a more near flawless woman. Let's do that. And this isn't me pedestalizing Kelly Stamps. I know that there are more beautiful women in the world. Okay, understand me. Understand me. What I like, what I prioritize as far as women's looks go, because everybody has their thing. And if you're an ass man, then she's not, she's not going to be as attracted to you as she is to me. I like almond eyes and full lips. I like women who are quirky. And of course, I like women with slim fit figures. So I may hold her in higher regards than somebody who likes booty, and somebody who likes, like those Asian slanted eyes or something like that. No hate. I'm just saying, whatever your version, whatever your when you find what you like, embrace it. Embrace it. And stop making excuses. You got to get your mind right when the opportunity presents itself. Be prepared. That's all I'm saying. So, went into that long segue. But yeah, that's I was just responding to somebody who, what did they say? Oh, they were just saying that big women make good housewives. They don't make good anything. They don't make good anything. And they know it. Not all women are created equal. And there are some women who are far greater than others. And it's unfortunately that for Black women, the equality thing is so much less than other races of women. And that's not because of a natural construct. That's because y'all cornered the market for so long that y'all forgot how to compete. So listen, do you? What is wrong with you ninjas? Like, what? I don't care. Am I to be insulted? Listen, I don't care. I know that she's not the finest woman in the world or anything like that. I just listed the reasons why I selected this chick as my internet crush. Oh, this person is hard. Is like if I was to say, like, Einstein is one of the greatest physicists that's ever lived. Like, well, what about Stephen Hawking's or it's like, listen, okay, I understand that there are people with higher IQs than Einstein. I get it. Don't care. Like stop trying to diminish it. What the hell? What the hell? And what pisses me off worse about ninjas like King is that do it when a chick is at the bottom. Like, y'all never do that when a chick. I don't get it. I'm never gonna figure y'all out. Yeah, exactly. Y'all too caught up on the chick selected. Yeah, so I don't know about the second part, but there is some truth to that. But nevertheless, it don't matter. It don't matter with the overall point. And my overall point is that fat chicks are less. There are lesser than and greater than women in this world. And we as men, Black, white, and otherwise, we as men need to feel comfortable ranking them and ranking yourself. Okay, Melody. I'm assuming you're talking about Sweet Melody Speaks or Sweet Melody Media. I was just on her show last night. And yeah, that's your internet crush. And I doubt you out there like, oh, look at how far apart her eyes are. Listen, crush what you want. Nobody's perfect. Crush what you want. And don't listen to, that's just hater talk. In In fact, I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what y'all sound like to me, and then I'm gonna go. But this is what y'all sound like to me. Hold on, let me find that. Let me go into my history. I think I seen it yesterday. So, all right, history and my shorts. All right, give me a second, y'all. Hit the like button while I do this. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So let me share the screen. Look at the look on his face. Look at the look on this dude's face. Now, let's play it and see what he has to say.
Your relationship hella weak, corny ass motherfuckers. I'm sorry, what did you just say? I said your relationship is hella weak and corny as fuck.
Hey, homie, I'm gonna need you to calm down. I don't know what problems you got, but I know you don't want these problems.
No!
Ooh, you got me hot. My baby's mad now. It's 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks. She just got a psychiatric. Now I'm really gonna have to give it to you.
Your relationship is trash as fuck. I give y'all like a month max. Y'all finna break up. Y'all both unstable as shit. Relationships are stupid as fuck.
All right. So Freeman Journal said he can't hear it, but it's you don't need the audio. I don't know why I didn't play, but that's fine. I'm not gonna do it again. My point is that it was a happy couple, and the dude decided to step up and call the relationship weak and spit in the dude's face and all that crap, and just all that, right? That's what y'all sound like. Like, oh no, she's not all that. It's like, nah, you want some of that. None of you dudes are kicking Kelly out your bed. Not a one. Not a one. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. All right, so all right, I'm gonna close up, but it says, I don't mind big bone, but if you're that way and you can't cook, I'm going to look at her sideways. You can't look at a big girl sideways. They're the same shape no matter what angle you look at them. That's the whole point of being round. Y'all be giving these chicks an out. She big, but she could cook. That don't mean crap. That do not mean crap. Listen, any chick can internet some food. Any chick can internet some food. There's another chick, right? Filipina P, and I covered her. She covers, like, she's a Filipina woman, and she talks about passport bros and expats and stuff like that coming to her country and getting with women like herself, Filipino women like herself. And she talked about how when you hire, because she went over the cost of having a maid in the Philippines. And I forget, but it was a ridiculously low amount monthly. And compared to having a maid here in the US, of course. And when she was talking about the cost and what they provide, because they also cook. A lot of maids here just clean and don't cook. They also cook, and she said pretty much that you can just go online and tell them what you want to eat. you know, like lasagna or something like that, and you show the YouTube video of a person making lasagna, and they'll cook it for you. And that's just what the Filipino women do. Like, and that she was talking about maids, but I think it was one master teacher who also mentioned that about like regular chicks in Brazil. You know, because you come from a different palate than what they're used to cooking. But once they are willing to cook, it's just a matter of them looking at it online and mimicking what they see. So the reason why I say that, Urban Reed, is because being able to cook is not a spectacular feat. Okay, so let's stop giving these big bone chick credit for being able to cook. Every chick can cook. You know, it's some YouTube see monkey do type stuff. Okay, it's regular basic stuff that slim waisted Kelly Stamps women can do. There isn't anything a fat woman, a big bone woman can do that a regular sized woman can't do. And a regular sized woman can do everything a big bone woman can do and more. And more. Like, oh, she could cook. She just did the same thing that every Filipino chick in the Philippines can do. Stop giving chicks credit for basic crap. Stop it. Yeah, she big, but you know, at least she could tie shoes. I mean, I take a big bone chick that knows how to tie shoes than a slim chick that don't know how to tie her shoes. Like, what the hell? Why don't you take this slim chick and then show her a YouTube video on how to tie shoes? All right, fair enough, fair enough. I'm just saying, we give credit to basic stuff. She big bone, but she's nice. Anybody can be nice. How do you think people hold jobs? Like, anybody can be nice. My name is Be Nice. Like, anybody can be nice, especially when they're dealing with, you know, a superior deal. I mean, especially when they're nice to a person that they like. You ever been on a date with a chick that was nice to you, treated you right, but treated the waiter and waitress like crap? Oh, recently, I was with a chick and I went to sleep. I was in the bed and she was still up and she ordered, you know, like a Uber or DoorDash or whatever, right? And um, apparently they forgot the soda. And I hear her on the phone yelling at the dude or chick or whomever for forgetting the soda. Like, you know, oh no, forget it now. You know, you're gonna just get a bad review, you know, because blah 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 and blah blah blah. I'm like, dang, just leave that person alone. Like, yeah, it sucks that they lost the soda, you know, or that you didn't get the soda and blah blah blah. But just, you know, is it that serious? But my point is that she is not a kind and sweet person. Just because a person is kind and sweet to you, that doesn't mean that they're generally speaking a kind and sweet person. They are just embracing the deal that they got. It doesn't say anything about their character, it just says who they're willing to be to get what they want to get. And to put a bow on that story, the next morning, I opened the door and the soda was there through all that. I was like, oh crap, what am I going to do? I'm not going to drink the soda. But anyway. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, and what I'm saying, okay, somebody says she's masculine, that's why she's behaving like that. And my point is that masculine women can pretend to be feminine. You know, they can pretend to be feminine for if they find it advantageous for the situation. That doesn't mean that. And this goes back into fat. She wasn't fat, but this goes back into fat women. This goes back into fat women. Because women can pretend to be nice, that shouldn't be a virtue that you put too much merit in because it's something that can be faked. You want to know what can't be faked? Fat. Like a fat woman can't pretend to be slim. So I'm going to put a higher premium on that. Is being rude? No, it's not considered like a masculine quality. It's just a rude thing. Like, you know. Yeah. I don't shame guys who like big bone women, but what I do is, okay, here's the thing. There are, I don't know who Ashley Graham is. There are, let's see, there are guys who are not really into big bone women, but they say that they are into big bone women. And that's what I don't like. I don't like that they promote that as what they want because it's confusing the dating market when they do that. Listen, if you say like, okay, this is what's available to me, you know, then I don't shame you any more than I shame a prisoner, you know, eating prison food. But if you walking around like, I prefer big bone women over those toothpick women, like, get your ass out of here. Like, shut up. That's when I call cap. That is when I call cap. And I don't like the cap. Okay? I don't like when you mention it as a preference. Why? Because if I was to go to your Pornhub account and I was to look up the last 10 porns that you watched, guess what? It's not going to be a big bone chick on it. Not a one. If I was to go to your room when you was like 10 years old or something and look at the pictures, the posters that was on your wall, it's not going to be a big bone chick. That is not your first choice. And that is what I just don't like you going out saying that this is your first choice. And the reason why I'm hard on brothers like that is because y'all make it hard on me. Y'all make it hard on me. Here in California, there are a total of 85 fat Asian women. There's a total of 85 fat Asian women. And you want to know what they do? They assume you want to know what they do? They come after my penis. That's what they do. They come after my penis. They come and they flirt and they try to nab my penis. And I look and I say, I don't say this directly, but I say, what makes you think that you can have my penis? You think that you can have my penis because it's black. Because it's black, you feel that I am one of the people that go out and is willing to get with one of the 85 overweight Asian women that are in California. You assume that I'm the one. You assume that I'm a chubby chaser because of the color of my skin. You would not assume that if I was white. You damn sure wouldn't assume that if I was Asian. But you look at my blackness and you want to know what it is? You want to know what it is that pissed me off? And I blame you brothers, particularly you Southern brothers, for doing this crap, for announcing that, oh yeah, I like a big bone and blah blah blah. I like a big. Y'all make it hard for me. Y'all make it hard for me. Okay? And that's why those chicks, they come my way talking about, yeah, you know, no, I don't. How dare you assume that of me because somebody that look like me is going out giving out discount dick? All right? I don't give discount dick. It's full price. It is full price. Do I look like Obsidian? This is full price peen, okay? By putting it on a clearance rack, like you ninjas be doing, by putting your D on a clearance rack, you devalue it. When do you ever see Birkin on a clearance rack? Prada on a clearance rack, or whatever these Italian dudes put overpriced stuff on a clearance rack. You don't see it on a clearance rack because it is of value, and they would rather throw it away than to give it to you at a discount. That's my dick, okay? You do not, you fat Asian woman, you do not come to my penis looking for a discount. How dare you? But because so many brothers look for a discount, are giving out discount D, they come to me with it. They come to me asking for a deal, asking for the hookup. That's what they doing. They ask it. Damn it, my leg fell asleep. Ah, dang. Let's stretch it out. All right. They're asking for a discount. They're asking for the hookup on my penis. And no, they don't. And I'm glad that a lot of my brethren here, not all, but I'm glad that enough of my brethren here feels the same way. And that's why they take their fat ass to wherever you ninjas tolerate these chicks. Think I'm lying? If you in Northern or Southern Cali and you know a chick, you know a big bone chick that said, oh yeah, I'm moving to Georgia. I'm moving to Atlanta. I'm moving to Texas. I'm moving to Alabama. I'm moving to Florida. I'm moving to Arkansas. How many of y'all know a chick like that? They are taking a fat ass elsewhere. You want to know what you ninjas are? You have created a passport bro situation here in the States. And just like the passport bros go overseas to get a better deal, chicks are going to the South to get a better deal. And I don't even mind any. I really don't. I used to be harder on brothers who be like that. Listen, as long as you take those 85 fat Asian bitches elsewhere, I do not care. I do not care. Y'all could take y'all fat ass to whatever chitlin eating part of the world that you could get discount penis in. I no longer care. Just keep it away from my dick. So yeah, that's my. Who's Bianca Lawson? Oh crap! Is that chick? I don't know what she looked like now, but I know she was bad as hell. Hold on. Yeah, that's her. Yeah. Yeah, she's I don't know how old is she? Yeah, she's always been bad as hell. She live out here. In fact, there was a dude that used to freak my channel named Complex Design that met her, and he had an opportunity to shoot a shot. It was him or Classy Young Man. It was one of them, but they had opportunity and they missed that opportunity. But Nevertheless, she's bad and she's always been bad. And don't pass up an opportunity because you on some eyes far apart crap or some crap like that. Yeah, is what it is. But yeah, so that's what it is. But yeah, y'all keep sending us the Bianco Lawsons, and we'll keep sending y'all our fucking Leslie Joneses, and get the fuck out of here. Oh, but she could cook. Shut up. Show ass up. Hear no crap like that. Yeah, exactly. Go to the chitlin places of the world. My grandma. I was a kid when I first smelled chitlins, and I was like, "What in the hell is this?" Whatever it is, she don't even make it anymore because new generations don't eat that crap. She don't even make it like at family functions anymore. She grew up in the South, obviously, but it's like, listen, if you get people away from that crap long enough, they're not going to deal with it. It was like a big red bucket, and they was like separating one part of the chili. What the y'all eat that? But to each its own. To each its own. Like, hey, to each his own. Just keep it away from me. Keep it away from me. Because I want to be able to rightly say, like, listen, whatever you thought, whatever stereotype you have about black men, about chubby chasing and chitlin eating and sagging and stuff like that, that does not apply to me. I want, in first glance, when you see me, you see a square nerd with a sweater vest that never ate a chitlin in his life, okay? And that do not deal with certain type of... I want you to see that. I want you to instantly see and recognize that. So when you come at me, you got to come with your full Kelly stampness. Yeah, J-Lo thick, Lizzo fat. Exactly. But then, but brothers try to blur the line between like all the women who are between J-Lo and Lizzo, and yeah, that's when it comes. That's when they're just looking for a place to eat cupcakes. Like they're and you gotta think that it can't be long term because you put a baby in some of these chicks and then they become full fat. But listen, once again, and by the way, my cousin is a natural chubby chaser. A natural chubby chaser. You want to know how I know? Because it's my cousin. And he actually did have the big girls on the wall. He didn't put them on the wall. But there was a show called The Facts of Life. And when we was up to age talking about crushes, I mean, we're younger than they are, but when we were talking about crushes, hold on, because we was watching it in reruns, I stated my crush, and that was the little girl that was played by Kim Fields. Her name was Tootie on the show, and he stated his crush, which just so happened to have been Natalie. And Natalie is the big one of the group. So when he had the right and ability to, because, I didn't get to sleep with Kim Fields, so it's not a matter of, who gets to sleep with whom, but, oh, by the way, I didn't know I thought she was my age because she was like a little girl on skates. But turns out that I was watching reruns and she was older. But anyway, but that's what he liked. Like he could have fantasized about anybody, and that's who he chose to fantasize about. And so it's a natural thing to him. It's a natural thing. And when he grew up and he was a big woman, or he married a big woman, Nah, he didn't have that surgery, but he married a big woman. You know, it's like, well, he got what he wanted. That's what he wanted. He wanted, you know, that was his type his whole life. Now, this is the Facts of Life from the 80s or something like that. And so the one I had a crush on was this one right here, Kim Fields. And the one he had a crush on was this one right here. Her name was Natalie. So some dudes just like what they like, and they're wired that way, like my cousin. But then some dudes aren't really wired that way, you know, but they say that they are. Like they really have a fantasy for one of the other Facts of Life chicks, but they pretend like they like Mrs. Garrett because that just so happens to be what they wife looks like. Oh no, I like Mrs. Garrett. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't really into white girls like that as a kid. And besides, you gotta understand that these were all older girls. So, you know, like Kim was like the young one of the group. Tootie was the young one of the group. These were all older girls. And she's black. I was more into black girls. So, you know, there's that. But my point is that listen, like what you like, but don't lie about what you like and then try to make that lie a complete stereotype. That's all I'm saying. So that's the only problem I have with that. But anyway, I'd like to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats. If you sent the Cash App, I'll cover you on the next show. My phone's in my pants in the other room. But I'd like to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who are participating in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. It's GameChanger 00100. Oh, catch my show later where I cover that chick that I was talking about that I showed you guys earlier. I will be covering her. I like to cover her in something else. Yeah. But I will be covering what she had to say on World Star Hip Hop in depth later today if I have time. If not tomorrow after work. But here, let me show y'all. I will be covering what this beautiful woman has to say. Beautiful woman has to say. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently and those who participate in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. This is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.